Despite a pandemic-induced standstill in the global cruise industry, there's now some rays of hope as the Ministry of Tourism continues to invest in the development of cruise tourism. A big comeback is expected for the industry, and joining us now to talk about it is our Minister of Tourism. I call him the World Minister, Edmund Bartlett. Morning, Minister. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Morning, Delia. Morning, Simone.
Hi, Minister. How are you?
Morning, Jamaica.
Well, we know the tourism industry is in recovery mode, Minister. Give us an idea of where we are now.
Well, firstly, I could say that the first hybrid World Summit in tourism is taking place right now in Cancun, in Mexico. And it's amazing to see how the areas have looked at managing COVID during this very difficult global period, and how the industry has responded and is literally reimagining itself, resetting itself to drive new growth and to play back the role of being a driver of economic development and job creation across the globe. So today, I meet with the leaders of the cruise segment. Yesterday, I met with our partners on the accommodation side. And particularly, I met with our ministers regarding multi-destination tourism. And that was very important. Created a whole new opportunity for development in the Caribbean, and particularly for us in the Americas. So Jamaica, Mexico, Panama, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba have created this new multi-destination partnership that will see us marketing together, developing strategies to harmonize certain type of policies that enable seamless transfers of visitors between us, and also to create a product which we can market together at a price that will allow for long-haul travelers in particular, those who would be coming out of Europe and Asia and Africa and the far areas of the world, who want to spend longer periods in our area, but now can have the opportunity of being in 3 or 4 different destinations during their vacation.
That's fantastic.
And this is an innovation that, if I'm allowed to say, I spearheaded, and we have been talking about for the last 2 years. And finally, we have put it together. Something else that happened, which I need to report to Jamaica, is a new relation is developing between the Saudi tourism arrangement and Jamaica, particularly in terms of our Global Resilience and Crisis Management Center. And we're very pleased that the world is now paying attention to the Global Resilience Center because of this pandemic and because of the farsightedness of the creation of that center, which is dealing with building capacity among countries to manage disruptions like pandemics, epidemics, earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanoes, and so on. So the provision of support for the center is a big one, and I will talk more about that when I get home in terms of the kind of resources that will come our way to build out capacities there.
Minister, can you give us an update on cruising now? Because for the last 2 years, we've been spending a lot of money upgrading and developing our ports, Ochi, Falmouth, more recently Port Royal. And now we hear there's good news in terms of cruising, with the reopening of cruise likely in June. We're looking at some 500,000 or more visitors to Jamaica.
Well, the development is not going to be for June. It will be, I think, August 1st. We expect to have the first home porting for the Norwegian cruise lines out of Montego Bay, and they will be operating 2 itineraries, one from Montego Bay, Ocherias, then to Roatan and Cozumel in Mexico. And the second will be Montego Bay to Ocherias to the ABC Islands. And we're excited about that because it will bring at least 2,000 visitors each time. And it will also bring opportunities for supplying the aircraft with more passengers coming through the Montego Bay Airport. But also, it will enable us to supply the cruise line with agricultural products and beverages, and also servicing it and refueling. And generally, it will bring more dollars into Jamaica.
Yeah.
The second big cruise home porting opportunity that we're working with is for the Viking cruise, which is an upscale, high, high level cruise with 950 cabins only for very wealthy cruisers. But the interesting part of it is that they're proposing an island cruise, meaning you start in Montego Bay, you go to Falmouth a day, then you go to Ochias a day, then you go to Port Antonio a day, then you go to Port Royal, exciting new Port Royal, and then from Port Royal back to Montego, and then they fly out, and another set comes in, and the people will process. That I think is exciting because it's the first time in our history that we will have an all-island cruise when we have our own itinerary, and that will also make good prospects for future in terms of other cruise lines that may come to utilize an itinerary such as that.
Yeah.
That means more of the dollars that will stay in the ports, 5 ports, to be utilized over a 7-day period. Very exciting. We're looking forward to that. It's going to bring, in the end, about 500,000 to 600,000 more visitors. But I want to say also that today I have an important meeting with the president of Carnival Cruise Lines, and that may result in another interesting statement, but more on that anon.
We're working.
So we're seeing also that cruise is slowly coming back, and we are very anticipating of a major statement from the mega cruise lines, because recall that Falmouth has not had any business at all in 15 months.
Wow.
And that's huge. Falmouth is our big area. We just concluded a big arrangement to have the first ever artisan village open. We're theming the village now. So when you go, you will begin to see, different areas reflecting the history of Falmouth and the parish of Chilon, with all its mythologies and River Muma from Martha Bray and all the other wonderful themes that have characterized the folklore of Chilon Falmouth through the years.
Yeah.
So Jamaica is well set, I believe, to restart. The Ministry of Health is working very hard with us to work through the protocols.
Can you talk to us some more about those, Minister? Protocols not only for the passengers, but for the folks who work on the cruise ships. I see implications for testing and so on.
Absolutely. Full protocols to be observed and taken even to another level. Every single crew member must be vaccinated prior to and within the 14-day period that they will be here operating. So double vaccination, a big part of it. And then we will be testing every member of the staff, whilst also testing all the vacationers who will come in, or the cruisers as we call them. So the arrangements for hospitalization on a special cover, insurance coverage, and also to enable social distancing in terms of the movement of the cruisers across the various attractions. The transportation arrangements, all of those will be properly comporting with the requirements of the COVID protocols.
All right, sounds like great news all around, Minister. Before we go, any last words you want to share with our viewers?
Last word is that let us continue to manage COVID effectively and well in Jamaica. And I want to appeal to everyone to take the vaccination. This vaccine hesitancy that is creeping in is not good for us. The world is responding well. We've had over 1 billion doses administered in the world already. And we need to do 7.8 billion, because that's what the population of the world is. It will take a little time, but if we all are responsive to it, it will happen. And Jamaica can become fully vaccinated, once the availability of the vaccine is there for us, if we all are responsive and remove this hesitancy. Remove the hesitancy and keep the protocols.
All right, great way to wrap this up, Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism, working hard. Cruising coming back, so much good news coming back in terms of tourism. Jamaica needs it, folks, because trust me, the last couple of months have been really devastating for the industry and for a lot of folks who work within it. So we welcome the good news and we thank you, Minister, for joining us this morning. Coming up next, we're looking at cyber crimes in a digital age. We'll be right back with it.